Hello, my name is Matt Warming, and today we are going to be creating a graded discussion inside the Canvas platform. Then we're going to establish some settings and choosing a due date for that set assignment, and we're going to publish and demonstrate some functionality of the discussion. This will take a couple of videos, so hang with me as we go through some of the content. You'll notice here I've got my dashboard up of my class. I will go ahead and make that full screen. Let's go ahead and look at my class here. I'm working with a chemistry class, and I have downloaded this info into my class via Desire to Learn and imported it in. That is for another day, but let's just say I have some content in here so it looks like a class. First, a little bit about Canvas on the very high level. You'll notice that Canvas is very repetitive and very simplistic to use. I kind of classify Canvas as a mid-level Ford sedan. Gives you a little bit of luxury and gets you where you want to go. But it's not going to have a lot of those high bells and whistles that you perhaps may or may not be familiar with from other learning management systems. It gets you where you want to go. And one thing about Canvas is that it's very repetitive. Let's look at the Home tab here, which we are seeing right now. And if we look at the Modules tab, you'll notice a lot of difference, not at all. So what the student sees and what the instructor sees, exactly the same on those two tabs. It all depends on how you lay out your coursework. Again, for another class, right now we are going to be concentrating on discussions. And for discussions, logic dictates that you go to the discussions board. And you see here, I've got a few discussions already started. We are going to click Add Discussion. We needed to give it a title, and you can see by the drop down, we can do an autofill. I always like giving my names very specific names. And that's a pre-Chapter 3 discussion. And you'll notice the text box here where you put in your information. This should be very familiar to you. This is a very powerful word processor. You can cut and paste. You can type things in however you want to do it. You notice is all the tool sets that you have when you use a word processing document, i.e. Microsoft Word. So very powerful word processing application here within Canvas. And I will tell my students to please share your thoughts on what you believe is needed to complete the lab. I love spell check. So I will tell my students to please give me their thoughts on based on what we know before. You'll notice down here we can post it to all sections, or notice we pull it down and I only have the one. If I do that, the problem here is that I don't have anybody enrolled, so my graded is automatically turned off. However, if I take that out and say all sections, I can now say graded. And when I say graded, I can tell it how many points are possible. 10 points. I can do it as a percentage, complete, incomplete, letter grade, or a GPA scale, all of which I can set up later. I can assign it to a group, which is, again, another topic. But for right now, everything that I've brought in gives me these different assignment groups. And I will basically say that I'm going to have it in my assignments group because the way I place my assignments is everything that the students need to do. And I can assign it to everyone. And all important, my due dates, I'm going to have it due the 8th of February. And notice the time, right before midnight. And here's another great function of the Canvas system. We can tell it when is it available from. I'm going to make it early from last Monday all the way to the date due. Done. Oops, available from. I have to actually do that, say done, and then go back into until. Get way ahead of myself here. There we go. So it's due then, and it's so once the clock turns to February 9th, this will no longer be available. So that is part one of the very simple, easy of how to post a discussion in your Canvas. And all important at the end, right now, I'm just going to save it. And you'll notice up here, it is not published yet. We will publish that later.